Let's get right into it. Number 9, vocal chameleons. Ever finish a long phone call with a friend from the deep south and find yourself thinking with a slight drawl for the next hour? Or maybe you spent an afternoon with a fast-talking New Yorker and suddenly your internal monologue is caffeinated and impatient. Congratulations, you're a vocal chameleon. This isn't you being weird or impressionable, it's a deeply ingrained social reflex called linguistic accommodation. Your brain, in its desperate, sweaty-palmed attempt to make people like you, automatically starts to mimic the speech patterns of whomever you're talking to. This includes their accent, their pace, their pitch, and even their favorite filler words. It's the brain's version of a spy trying to blend in behind enemy lines. By subtly adopting the other person's way of speaking, your subconscious is sending a powerful signal. I am like you. I am part of your tribe. Please do not perceive me as a threat and banish me to the wilderness. It's a primitive tool for building rapport and increasing social cohesion. When you sound like someone, they instinctively trust you more because similarity feels safe. Your brain knows this, so it turns you into a low-budget voice actor without your permission. The creepiest part is that you're almost never aware it's happening until you catch yourself saying cheers instead of thanks after watching one too many British reality shows. Your brain is basically a pathetic, people-pleasing parasite that lives in your skull, and it will sell out your native accent in a heartbeat for a crumb of social validation. Number 8, the awkward nod. You're in a meeting. Your boss is explaining fourth-quarter projections using a graph that looks like a rejected Jackson Pollock painting. Your mind has completely checked out. You're thinking about whether you left the oven on, what that weird noise your car was making is, and if a hot dog qualifies as a sandwich. Yet, on the outside, you are the perfect employee. Your head is bobbing up and down in a steady, thoughtful rhythm. You are performing the awkward nod. This is your body's social screensaver, an automatic reflex designed to fake engagement when your brain has clocked out for a mental health break. This gesture is a masterpiece of social efficiency. It conveys a whole host of lies without you having to expend a single cognitive calorie. It says, I'm listening, I understand, and that's a fascinating point, when in reality your brain is a ghost town with a single tumbleweed rolling through. The nod is a low-energy, non-verbal grunt that our primate ancestors used to signal agreement and deference. It's a way of saying, you are the dominant one in this interaction, and I will not challenge your PowerPoint presentation. It keeps the social peace and prevents the other person from realizing you've been mentally recasting the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe with C-list actors for the past 10 minutes. So the next time you see a sea of bobbing heads in a lecture hall, don't be fooled. You're not witnessing a room full of engaged scholars. You're watching a bunch of highly evolved apes whose necks are doing all the social heavy lifting while their brains are off chasing squirrels. Number 7, involuntary mirroring. Picture this. You're having coffee with a friend. They lean forward on their elbows, and without thinking, you lean forward on your elbows. They cross their legs, you cross your legs. They take a sip of their drink, and a moment later, so do you. No, you're not being mocked by a mime. You're experiencing the chameleon effect, or involuntary mirroring. Your brain has a special set of cells called mirror neurons, and they are the little traitors responsible for this creepy puppet show. These neurons fire both when you perform an action and when you see someone else perform that same action. They are the foundation of empathy, learning, and apparently turning a casual conversation into a game of synchronized sitting. This reflex is your brain's clumsy attempt at social glue. By subtly mimicking the body language of the person you're with, you're non-verbally screaming, "Hey, we're the same. Our skeletons are in the same position. Let's be friends." It builds rapport and creates a sense of mutual understanding on a level so deep you're not even aware of it. But once you do become aware of it, it's horrifying. You suddenly realize you've been copying your date's weird finger-tapping habit for the last 20 minutes. You notice that you and your interviewer are both holding your pens in the exact same bizarre grip. It's like your body has been possessed by a very polite ghost who just wants everyone to get along. Your mirror neurons don't care if you look cool. They just want to make sure the other monkey in the room doesn't see you as a threat. Basically, your nervous system is a copycat, and it's turning you into an unconscious physical plagiarist for the sake of social harmony. Number 6, the compulsive apology. You're walking through a crowded store and you bump into a mannequin. What's the first thing you say? "Oh, sorry about that." You apologize to a lifeless piece of plastic. Or better yet, someone else bumps into you, sending your groceries flying, and you're the one who immediately blurts out, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." This is the compulsive apology, a social reflex so deeply ingrained in many of us that we'd probably apologize to an asteroid right before it wiped out all life on Earth. This isn't about genuine remorse, it's a preemptive de-escalation tactic fired directly from your lizard brain. In the grand, terrifying history of primate social dynamics, unexpected physical contact was often a prelude to a fight. Bumping into someone could be seen as a challenge for territory or dominance. So your brain developed a handy shortcut, a verbal white flag. Saying sorry isn't an admission of guilt. It's a rapid-fire signal that says, I am not a threat. This was an accident. Please do not maul me in the canned goods aisle. It's a social lubricant designed to smooth over minor physical infractions and maintain the delicate peace of public life. You apologize to the chair you trip over, the door you walk into, and the person who stepped on your foot, all for the same reason. Your ancient paranoid brain is constantly trying to avoid a fight to the death over a minor inconvenience. You're not polite. You're just a terrified ape in a fancy shirt, trying to tell all the other apes that you come in peace. Number 5, the Ope Maneuver. If you've ever tried to squeeze past someone in a narrow hallway, you may have involuntarily emitted a short, sharp burst of air that sounds something like ope. It's not quite oops and it's not quite hope. It's just ope. This bizarre little noise is a verbal flinch, a micro-reflex for a micro-inconvenience. It's the sound your body makes when it needs to acknowledge a minor spatial violation without escalating it into a full-blown conversation. It's the acoustic equivalent of that awkward half-smile you give a stranger. The Ope Maneuver is a masterpiece of social efficiency. In one tiny syllable, you are communicating, I recognize that I have briefly entered your personal space. I mean you no harm, and I am correcting the situation, so let's both agree to forget this ever happened. It's a verbal apology, a warning, and a peace treaty all rolled into one pathetic little puff of sound. It happens so fast you don't even decide to do it. Your brain, detecting an imminent and very minor social collision, bypasses all higher-level thought and just hits the Ope button. It's the verbal equivalent of a car's proximity sensor beeping. The Ope is most common in certain regions, but its spirit is universal. It's the sound of a nervous system trying its best to be invisible and inoffensive while navigating a world full of other clumsy, awkward bodies. It's not a word. It's a distress signal from your inner social coward. Number 4, smiling at danger. A stranger is walking towards you on a deserted street at night. Your heart rate quickens, your palms get a little sweaty, and your survival instincts are screaming, danger! Potential threat! Prepare to flee or fight! And what does your face do? It smiles. A tight, awkward, deeply unnatural smile. Or maybe your boss is yelling at you for a mistake you didn't even make. Your brain is a swirling vortex of anger and injustice, but your face is locked in a bizarre, placating grin. This is a submissive smile, a creepy social reflex that is hardwired into our primate DNA. When many apes and monkeys feel threatened by a more dominant member of their group, they perform a fear grin. They bare their teeth in a way that looks like a smile, but it's actually a signal of appeasement. It says, I am not a threat to you. I am small and weak. Please do not rip my arms off. Your human brain, for all its supposed sophistication, pulls the exact same move. When you're in a tense or frightening social situation, that involuntary smile is a desperate, primitive attempt to de-escalate the situation. You are literally showing your teeth to signal that you have no intention of using them. It's a gesture of surrender. The creepiest part is the disconnect between your internal state of panic and the friendly, slightly deranged mask your face has decided to wear. So next time you find yourself grinning at someone who gives you the creeps, remember that you're not being friendly. You're just an advanced primate trying to signal that you'd be a very chewy and unsatisfying meal. Number 3, laughter infection. You're with a group of friends and someone tells a joke. It's not that funny. It's a solid 4 out of 10, maybe a 5 on a good day. But one person starts to genuinely belly laugh, and then another person starts, and suddenly you find yourself laughing too. Not a polite chuckle, but a real wheezing laugh, even though you still don't think the joke was that good. You've been infected with contagious laughter. Laughter, much like yawning, is a social virus. Your brain is highly susceptible to it, and the reason is all about bonding. Hearing the sound of laughter triggers a response in the premotor cortical region of your brain, which prepares the muscles in your face to move in a similar way. Your brain is priming you to join the fun before you've even consciously decided to. This is an ancient mechanism for social signaling. In a primal, pre-language world, shared laughter was a powerful way to communicate safety, agreement, and belonging within a tribe. It says, "We all find the same thing amusing. We are a cohesive unit. The saber-toothed tiger has not eaten us yet." When you laugh along with others, you're reinforcing social bonds and releasing endorphins that make the whole group feel good. It's a feedback loop of communal joy. But it's also a form of emotional peer pressure. Your brain doesn't want to be the only one not in on the joke, so it forces you to participate, turning you into a laughing zombie. It's a wonderful, creepy reflex that proves your sense of humor can be easily hijacked by a few happy noises. Number 2, primate grooming. There's a stray piece of lint on your coworker's shoulder. You're in the middle of a serious conversation about budget reports, but you can't focus. The lint is calling to you. It's a tiny, fluffy imperfection in an otherwise orderly world. Before you can stop yourself, your hand darts out, plucks the lint off their jacket, and you present it to them as if it were a rare artifact. You have just engaged in a modern form of primate grooming. It's a deeply weird and unsettlingly intimate gesture to perform on someone you only communicate with via email. For our primate ancestors, grooming, picking fleas, dirt, and parasites off each other, wasn't just about hygiene. It was a cornerstone of social life. It was a way to build alliances, show affection, and establish trust. The slow, careful act of being groomed is calming and releases feel-good hormones like oxytocin. Your brain still carries that ancient software. So when it sees a small imperfection on a social ally, like a stray hair or a crumb, the grooming instinct can kick in. It's your brain's way of saying, "I care for your well-being, and I want to strengthen our social bond." Also, you have a bit of spinach in your teeth. The problem is, our modern social rules are a little more complex than those of a baboon troop. Plucking something off your boss is a high-risk, low-reward social maneuver. But your brain doesn't care. It's a simple creature, and it sees a problem that needs picking. Number 1, contagious yawning. Nothing exposes the raw, uncontrollable nature of our brains quite like the contagious yawn. One person in a room lets out a big, deep yawn, and a chain reaction begins. One by one, like falling dominoes of exhaustion, others start to yawn too. You can try to fight it. You can clench your jaw, bite your tongue, think about anything else, but it's a losing battle. The yawn is coming. This isn't just your body needing more oxygen. If it were, you'd just breathe more deeply. The contagious yawn is a bizarre form of primitive, nonverbal communication. It's a social reflex rooted in empathy. Studies have shown that contagious yawning is linked to the same parts of the brain that govern empathy and social bonding. The same parts that make you cringe when you see someone get hurt. When you see someone yawn, your brain's mirror neuron system simulates that action in your own mind, and that simulation often becomes a full-blown physical action. It's believed to be an ancient, unconscious way for a group to coordinate its behavior. The first yawn in a tribe could have been a signal. "I'm tired. It's time to wind down and go to sleep." The contagious effect would synchronize the group's sleep patterns, ensuring everyone was on the same schedule for safety and cohesion. So when your coworker's yawn infects you during a 3 p.m. meeting, you're not just tired. You're participating in an ancient ritual to make sure the whole tribe goes to the cave at the same time. You're a slave to your own empathy, forced into a jaw-stretching display of solidarity you never asked for. That's all for today. I'll be making similar videos in the future. Subscribe to see them.